So, hello everyone. I know that I said to the folks who I just met, super excited for the team that I met over at WFG. I wanted to share my personal and business planning worksheet that I also send out to my customers at the beginning of every year. And I wanted to go through a couple of things. So I'm going to break this this video recording up into a couple of sections that we talked about with Jamil, because Jamil is awesome. He did do my PFS, so my personal financial statement. And so we looked at a lot of my income and my expenses, my assets, my liabilities, and we came up with a plan for me to go forward as far as what am I looking to do? What do I want? And what do I want to achieve long term? And one of the ways I was able to do that is because I have a version of this worksheet. Mine is a little bit more in depth, but I wanted to share this because it's really something that we all need to have prepared. I also attach a version of this sheet to my trust, to my will. That way, if anything should happen to me, all of the people who need to know will know where everything is, how much money is there, how do they reach it, what are any account numbers, things of that nature. So I wanted to walk you all through just a couple of tabs here that are really important. So one of the things we talked about on the personal side, and I'll just stick to the personal side for the sake of this recording, which is everything in purple is personal. And so the first thing, because I am an enrolled agent, I'm always really concerned about the tax ramifications that my clients have on their money and on their budget. And of course, as I'm preparing their taxes, I need to know a lot of these things, right? But these are also good habits for you to go over with your clients, right? So we're talking about if they have any investments that give them distribution income, if they have any businesses that give them income, where is kind of this non-standard income coming from? And of course, any additional wages that they may have. Now, when we get to looking at kind of contributions, like how much money are they contributing throughout the year? How much money are they contributing in their IRA, in their 401k, in their HSA? The reason that I love all of these strategies because they're all tax savings. So I definitely want to encourage you to share this with your customers and with your clients so that they can measure throughout the year how well they're doing. Now, some of the really awesome sauce that I have in this spreadsheet is the personal net worth tab. And that is really where you're listing out your checking account, your saving account, your retirement funds, all of these things that you have, right? And these are editable columns. So if you need to add several, I know I have several checking accounts, several savings accounts. So I add all of those in here to see what my total assets are, right? My 529, my HSA, but also where are those things located, right? So what's the website? What's the contact information? What is the current total amount that you have in that account, which you can either keep track of it over here on a monthly basis if you're contributing monthly, or you may just want to say, hey, for my life insurance policy, right? It may be increasing depending on the type of insurance policy you have, or it may just be remaining the same, right? And you're making those monthly contributions. So you want to put how much is your life insurance worth today, right? So it's cash value, how much you have within that life insurance policy now, and then how much you'll have later. And the great thing about that is when you're looking at how much money you have today versus how much you have later, you might not need as much life insurance, for example, let's say, right? Same thing with some other investments. So for example, I work for a company that gives me RSUs, which are restrictive stock units. And based upon how long I stay with the company, they release a certain amount of stocks to me. Now, I can see those stocks grow and contract. However, I cannot have access to them until I've been with the company for X number of years, right? So that will fall under that later money and that later amount of money and funds that you have. So you definitely want to look at those things, keep track of them, keep track of, okay, how many checking accounts do I have? How much is in that account this month, next month? How much do I have in my retirement funds, in my IRA, in my HSA, in my 529? How much is my primary residence worth? I think that's one of the big things that a lot of us don't really think about, right? Is if something happens to us, and maybe if you're like me and you're single and you kind of say, well, I don't really care what happens to my house, you can sell it and use the proceeds, for my children, right? So there are those options that you have there, but of course you have to offset it with any debt that you may have, right? So if you do have a mortgage on that house, or you have student loans, car loans, any credit card debt, I always like to list those out, and I'll probably add some columns on here as well, because one of the things that I like to personally track with my credit cards is not just the due date, not just the maturity date, but also the interest rate, right? I like to know, well, how much interest am I paying on this? And that's because I do play around with the numbers from time to time, especially on the business side. So if I know that, a business opportunity will make me 20%, I might put it on a 14% business credit card, because for me, that makes more sense for me and my business and my overall business strategy. So some things for you all to think about. Of course, write things down, add them in. I do have some different formats of this spreadsheet. So if you are looking at this and you're like, Ashley, I just want to capture my budget, which also there is a dream life budget. So the way that I do a lot of budgeting for myself is I don't look at the limitations of my income. I look at the desires that I have and the lifestyle that I want to live. And then what sort of income do I really need in order to support that lifestyle? Now, that's kind of a whole other conversation in and of itself, but you will also need this personal annual budget in order to have an intelligent conversation around your financial situation, your financial statement, and knowing how much money you have left over for things like investments and donations and insurance and savings. So really make sure that you take your time, go through this spreadsheet. If you have any questions, if you need anything, just let me know. For all of my current tax clients, of course, you all always have access to this document for free. And then anyone who is a part of my team, my family, of course, you have access to this for free as well, and I will send that on over to you. So thank you all so much. I hope this wasn't too long, and hopefully I can deliver some more value to you all soon in the future. Have a great day.